across central Victoria. This is Win News.
Tonight, Bendigo's first aged care residents get vaccinated against COVID. Regional welfare advocates slam the job seeker increase. And a $70 million Castlemaine prison upgrade. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight on Win News, a new state-of-the-art cheese factory opens at Castlemaine with a world-renowned cheesemaker at the wheel. 53 residents at Bentley's aged care are among the first Central Victorians to be vaccinated against COVID-19. 96-year-old Shirley McDonald and Arthur Eaton say they feel privileged to lead the way in getting the jab.
Becoming a part of history, 96-year-old Arthur Eaton was one of the first Central Victorians to get the Pfizer vaccine, and he thinks everyone should do the same.
Very important, the pandemic coming to an end. There's a lot of people unfortunately passed on.
Arthur says he felt very comfortable ahead of the jab.
Going in this arm?
Yeah, left arm.
Okay.
Shirley McDonald was also one of the first 53 Bendigo aged care residents to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
But, you know, at my age, I thought, no, I'll have it for my sake, for the kids' sake. You've got to think of the younger ones under you and those coming on.
It comes after what staff describe as the hardest year yet in aged care.
Staff were really scared. They were really scared that they'd be the one to bring it in, and that puts an extra level of stress on your work.
Aspen Medical will now go to a handful of other Bendigo aged care facilities to vaccinate residents this week, with staff next in line to receive the jab.
It's really nice to know that we've got another level of protection for the residents and for the staff.
Shannon Schubert, Win News.
Regional welfare advocates have argued the $25 a week increase to job seeker is not enough. They were calling for a boost of $350 a fortnight, but the federal government says the scheme needs to be sustainable.
A boost for struggling job seekers.
I've been applying for jobs recently, and there'll be like 100 or more other people that are applying for the same jobs.
The job seeker payment will increase by $50 a fortnight to around $615 when the coronavirus supplement is scrapped next month.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think that'll help so many people.
But welfare advocates say the move's insulting.
I know that for me, $50 a fortnight would mean I could buy half a sandwich at my local deli every day. The government needs to consider raising the rates to a significant level, probably the poverty line, so that people who are unemployed can actually thrive.
The number of job searches required each month will also rise gradually to 20 from July 1 to crack down on those avoiding work.
Every person we get in a job, they're better off and the country's better off. And so that remains our objective.
We don't seem to experience that in our industry, so there's always people actively looking for retail work.
Around 1.3 million Australians are currently on unemployment benefits, an increase of 700,000 people before the pandemic. The $50 increase to job seeker will begin on April 1 and will also apply to youth allowance and parenting payments. Heshayla Kumarawansa, Win News.
The Premier has indicated more restrictions could ease across the state from Friday, which will mark the end of the 14-day incubation period for the Holiday Inn coronavirus cluster. The state now has gone 4 days without recording a new case. The eased restrictions could see 30 visitors allowed to homes and up to 75% of workers return to the office. Construction is underway on a $71 million development to upgrade Castlemaine's Middleton prison. The project is set to increase the number of beds of the minimum security facility while creating around 50 local jobs.
Shovel-ready and underway, Castlemaine's Middleton prison's getting a makeover to boost its capacity.
Unfortunately, our system isn't as modern as the facility that we're in, and so some beds will need to get switched off and some new beds will need to be brought on.
The $71 million project will see an added unit of an extra 39 beds at the minimum security prison, as well as a new kitchen and basketball court. It's a cottage-style community where medium security prisoners graduate as they prepare to return to society.
This builds our capacity to create a good exit strategy from corrections for people that will now become productive members of the community.
It's also about making sure that our correction system is in the 21st century, making sure that we have the security upgrades that are needed.
It's also a boost for Fairbrother Construction, which was awarded the tender off the back of the Castlemaine secondary project and its current Bendigo GovHub project.
We managed to get through the last year okay, and this year's looking really positive into the next 12-18 months.
There'll be 165 jobs associated with this project, 50 of them local jobs.
Construction set to finish mid-next year. Will Hogan, Win News.
Bendigo Council has proposed a $30,000 aerial cooling system for Rosalind Park to protect grey-headed flying foxes. It's part of a broader application to Heritage Victoria to increase visitation to the fernery.
A new $30,000 aerial cooling system's been proposed to protect the bats in Rosalind Park's fernery.
I'm sure we all remember in December 2019 where we had temperatures of over 45 degrees here. We had close to 200 bats die in one day alone.
And alternative roosting systems also plan to protect trees.
This program hasn't been completed anywhere else in Australia, so we're using a range of different ropes and harnesses to see what'll work, where the numbers can get up to 20 or 30,000. They can do damage over the short amount of time.
Experts say the threatened species needs to be protected amid estimations numbers have declined by as much as 80% in recent decades.
There's only 3 permanent colonies in Victoria of the grey-headed flying fox, and this is one here in Bendigo, so it's of national significance.
They're also important for pollen and seed dispersal.
So they play a more important role in the environment than many people might think.
The council's plan also includes 3 new entranceways to encourage more people to visit the park. This space here is one of the proposed entrance sites.
We're planning to have an additional gate on Park Road and another one up towards the school that'll provide a transient of access points and entrances and exits.
Grace Aiken, Win News.
Golden Square Pool's main entrance is being revitalised with a new mural to reflect its vibrant community. Locals have collaborated with artists to shape the design as part of its Connecting the Square project.
A blank canvas being given new life.
Our volunteers have had an idea of wanting to bring a public artwork to the pool, and so now it's about putting that into action.
Bendigo-based artist collective Nacho Station will use local ideas on what makes Golden Square unique to design the work.
We're hoping that the mural adds a bit of life to this precinct and also a way for the community to get involved with the art that we'll be putting on display.
Nacho Station's work already features across local buildings, including the bank and most recently Bendigo Health.
What we really love to do is give ownership back to the people who live and use the spaces.
Work will begin soon and community members are invited to pick up the paintbrushes too.
And after the year that we've had, 2020 with lockdowns and restrictions, I think people are looking to get back involved in community.
It's one of several projects Golden Square Pool has in the works ahead of a big off-season.
We're doing some works to our grounds and gardens to make them more inviting for our community, and doing some really cool projects to increase the shade.
Grace Aiken, Win News.
And when we return this Tuesday, more Central Victorians financially stressed due to the pandemic, and a new state-of-the-art cheese factory opens at Castlemaine. We need your help to join the fight to save our voices. Visit change.org/save our voices to register and help us keep regional media alive.
It's the biggest wow, yes, swimming with lions. Wow Week continues 7:30 tonight.
I feel like something new.
Discover a new world of deliciousness.
Murray River salted double chop.
Try the new Tim Tam crafted collection. What more could you wish for?
I'm the magpie, collecting Flybuys points and shiny dollars off my shop. Yeah, I'm ducking out for toot roll, rissoles, bread rolls, and probably some chicken chips. I'm the mayor of Rundle Mall, minister of freebies. catalog connoisseur. I give her flybys.
At Terry White Chemmart, we're adding real value every day with our own range of high-quality products, including pharmacy-only medicines, to give your family the best possible care at our lowest everyday prices. Real value every day at Terry White Chemmart.
How's it going, mate? 10 cars and a pedestrian. Check out the red car. It's mine, I saw it first.
No, mate, no, not that one.
Why not?
Perro's paint, mate. Look at the finish, the shine. You just can't do it.
Perro's quality automotive paints and accessories.
Byers Electrical, your specialists for small and large-scale solar power systems. Expert installation, servicing and maintenance for commercial and residential properties. For solar power systems, call Byers Electrical. Byers Electrical. Be connected.
No matter your sin, you're welcome here. No matter your desire, you're welcome here. For this is more than a nightclub. The Moulin Rouge is a state of mind.
Welcome to the Moulin Rouge.
Right now, many farming communities across Australia face continuing challenges because of the drought. Vinnie's understands that even after some rain, the effects of this drought will be felt for some time. If you are a farmer, farm worker or farm supplier or contractor, you could be entitled to a one-off $3,000 grant through the Australian Government's Drought Community Support Initiative Round 2. To apply or find out if you're eligible, phone 1300 846 643 or go to vinnies.org.au/drought help.
Local business is hurting. We're all feeling it. At JL King & Co, we realise we're only as strong as the community around us. And during tough times, it's never been more important to support local business. Now's the time to show your support by enjoying a sit-down meal at your favourite pub, club or restaurant, or by ordering takeaway and home-delivered meals. It's one small step that could help make a big difference. Buy local, shop local, support local.
Could you keep your balance if $250,000 was on the line?
You have to risk everything to play for that $250,000. Contemplate how you'd feel if you went home tonight with nothing.
The Cube premieres 7:30 tomorrow on Win.
Castlemaine's food reputation has received another boost with a world-renowned cheesemaker guiding a new factory to its first fromage. And those looking for a slice of the action will be at the wheel in a couple of weeks.
From milk to wheel, this new cheese factory's daring to be different.
It is unique, having both a school that trains people in a variety of crafts and levels, but also then integrating it with a commercial cheese facility.
After launching earlier this month, the cheesemaking facility has just produced its first batches of all shapes and sizes, with renowned head cheesemaker Yvonne Lacheur at the helm.
Our plan is to make about 2,000 to 4,000 litres of milk to process, between 2,000 and 4,000 litres of milk per week, and that's about half a ton per cheese.
It's a concise process from skimming to flipping to pre-aging to aging. No slices spared.
This rack of cheese alone has around 750 litres of milk and takes a year of aging before it can be sold, giving you just a bit of an idea of how sophisticated the operations are.
Every cheese, every product will have its own rules to respect, his own environment, process, steps to respect to make the best cheese that we want to do.
While the school will run its first class next month for budding cheesemakers, the course booking out within a day.
Enrolments have gone very quickly. We will be scheduling more classes, however.
But you'll have to be quick or you'll miss out. Will Hogan, Win News.
Bills plus credit card and household debt have been identified as the leading causes of financial distress during the pandemic. Family violence and mental illness also increased during lockdown, while services fear poverty will now rise.
Some of our community's most vulnerable benefited from increased welfare payments at the height of the pandemic, but social services say there's still been significant financial strain.
We've found we've had an increase in clients presenting with increased utility bills due to being home for so long.
A new Anglicare Victoria reports found soaring utility bills, household debt like rent and rising credit card debts being the leading causes of financial distress during the pandemic.
Credit cards are a significant impact, but also utility bills.
Credit cards have gone up and rentals have also fallen behind.
Regional Financial Support Services say many clients battling rising bills are choosing to go without food or health checkups to pay bills or rent.
They don't buy enough food for their children while they're trying to manage keeping the power on and keeping in a property.
Alarmingly, more people also said they were going through a hard time battling issues such as family violence or mental illness while experiencing financial difficulties.
We know that family violence has been increasing. We also know that notifications to child protection have been increasing.
Shannon Schubert, Win News.
Livestock auctioneers from across the state have gone hammer and tongs at the sale yards today. 10 contestants battled it out in a bid to win the prestigious Victorian Young Auctioneers competition.
Cattle and money weren't the only things on the line at the Shepparton sale yards today. Auctioneers from across the state took to the stage to try and claim victory at the state round of Alpia's Distinguished Young Auctioneer of the Year competition.
Well, you look for the quality of your cattle, I guess, and you look for your weight and what you're selling, so you got to be really onto it with what's in front of you.
The contestants had just minutes to sell the cattle and themselves to the judges.
They'll sell their very, very best ability, and it's not necessarily the price that they achieve for the steers, it's the way in which they conduct themselves all around the scope. We believe that auctioneering is something whereby you can't make an auctioneer, you can mould an auctioneer.
Each auctioneer bringing a different skill set.
I work for South Gippsland Livestock now for about 5 years, and started selling about 3 or 4 months ago.
Well, I've been doing it now for 3.5 years. Just got into it with hands-on learning, I guess. You get put in your market centre and get asked to sell, and from there on you sort of just roll your sleeves up and get into it.
The winner and runner-up will go on to the Sydney Rural Easter Show to compete for the national title.
It's a milestone in any young auctioneer's career to even compete in this competition.
A brand new experience, so it's pretty exciting. It'll be great to win, obviously, but just privileged to be here.
Morgan Dyer, Win News.
A View Street building has been transformed into a captivating and colourful work of art created in collaboration between a scientist and a visual artist. The installation showcases the features of one of the most powerful microscopes in the country.
This installation's the result of an unlikely collaboration forged between a chemical biologist and a visual artist.
She works in this dark space or darkened space, and I'm working in a dark space with light. But we then are looking at materials, working with scale.
Danica Chappell and Dr Donna Whelan collaborated to create a bold and bright facade on the La Trobe Art Institute building, with some components captured by one of the most powerful fluorescence microscopes in the country.
Finding ways to integrate my microscopy into the actual art, so spending some time in my lab, spending some time in her studio.
In sections of the work, particles smaller than a pinhead have been captured, enlarged, and are now covering metres of the building.
It changes with the shifting light, the ambient outside light, and interacts with lighting that we've installed behind.
Also on display is Danica's solo exhibition, which showcases more of her pieces working with light elements. The exhibition forms part of the International Festival of Photography, delivered in collaboration with more than 40 galleries, museums and universities across Victoria. Bonnie Barkmeyer, Win News.
Time for some sport now with Amy Duggan, and the Braves men's squad has locked in some flagship signings.
That's right, Bruce, absolutely. Star power forward Ray Turner has recommitted to the side, heading into a 4th season in the blue and yellow. He hopes to lead the Braves to a championship after a disappointing grand final loss in 2019.
Ray Turner's signed, sealed and ready to deliver for the Braves this NBL1 season. After going down to Nunawading in the grand final in 2019, he says the squad's hungry for redemption.
Looking forward to hopefully get back there again and bring it home this time.
The star power forward averaged 23.4 points and 12.3 rebounds per game in the same season, which saw him earn NBL1 All-Star 5 honours. He says this year he'll continue his leadership role among the side's youngest players.
Keep them motivated, give them wisdom, and just knowledge of the game, things I've learned over the years, and hopefully that continues to impact throughout the games.
While it was hard to miss his first season in more than a decade last year after the competition was cancelled, Turner says it'll take every club time to adjust.
I think it's going to be a challenge for every club this year, just because everyone has obviously had to go through the COVID year and probably had to do things on their own and figure out a way to continue to train and stay in shape.
The dual Braves MVP winner says the squad's now working hard ahead of the season's tip-off.
Just getting familiar with one another, building that chemistry like we've always built over the years, and just continuing that throughout the games and just competing hard as we can.
The season's scheduled to start on April 18 when the Braves head to Mount Gambier. Bonnie Barkmeyer, Win News.
Bendigo cricketer Taylor Fleming's long-awaited return to the national setup is imminent after she was selected in the tour squad for New Zealand. Fleming's played 2 matches for Victoria after recovering from a foot injury which sidelined her for more than 12 months, but she hasn't missed a beat.
That's a good delivery, wrapped on the pads, big shout for LBW out!
The New Zealand tour starts on March 28. 2 Central Victorian lawn bowl stars have made their way to the top of Bowls Australia's women's rankings. Kyneton export Chloe Stewart has been named top-ranked bowler for Queensland and sits 5th overall. Castlemaine's Carla Krasanik's Victoria's top-ranked talent with an overall ranking of 9. And that'll be it for the day in sport, Bruce.
Lovely, Amy. Thank you very much for that. Time for weather with Christina Prentoska, and it will be a little warmer tomorrow, Christina.
Bruce, it will inch towards the mid-20s tomorrow. I'll have all the details after the break.
Federal agents, heads up!
New season, new cases. From the show that's got it all.
Funny. Sexy. Dangerous.
Trails, intrigue.
Oh, this is getting good.
New NCIS. Tonight, after The Amazing Race. Followed by the new season of NCIS LA.
With the world turned on its head, many of us aren't feeling like ourselves. But what happens in your head doesn't have to stay there. There are things we can do to feel better, like staying connected, keeping busy, and being active. How's your head today? For info, advice and professional support, visit headtohealth.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Voltaren Osteogel 12 hourly for a joint pain. I should start exercising again.
With just 2 applications a day, Voltaren Osteogel 12 hourly gives you joint pain relief for the whole day and all night.
Actually, exercise is not so bad.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
We're Victorians. We know fire.
We know how devastating bushfires can be to our beautiful state.
So we know you should check the fire danger rating every day.
How well do you know fire?
Authorised by the Victorian Government.
What is money for? If not for the place you call home, or your very own business.
We can help with whatever matters most. NAB, more than money.
Why do you come? All the pleasures are mine, never getting old. If you're looking for me, I'll be dancing in my own way.
You don't have to quit alone. You've got family to call on, mates to count on, and Nicorette's new spearmint gum, which acts fast and lasts. In fact, there are 141 fewer Aussie smokers each week. Now's the time to join the quitters.
How's it going, mate? 10 cars at a pedestrian.
Check out the red car.
It's mine, I saw it first.
No, mate, no, not that one.
Why not?
Perro's paint, mate. Look at the finish, the shine. You just can't do it.
Perro's quality automotive paints and accessories.
Our heroes are all around us. Not all are bitten by radioactive spiders or fall to Earth from alien planets. Sometimes they wear masks. Sometimes they stand out from the crowd. They care about other people. They care for our families. They help us when we need them. We respect them. They build our future. They impact our lives. Our heroes are made at Bendigo TAFE.
Wobble Tea sprinklers for large areas, Australian made and owned, award-winning for their efficiency with add-on ability. And for smaller areas, use the clever drop sprinkler, also with add-on ability. Wobble Tea, celebrating 22 years of Australian manufacturing. Available from leading hardware stores and rural retail outlets. Visit wobbletea.com.au.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman. Everything you need in electrical, technology, furniture and bedding. Shop in store and online today.
Welcome back. It was a brisk one today. Both overnight and daytime temperatures were between 3 and 10 degrees below the February average. Tonight's weather photo is from Noel. He captured this beautiful sky with orange and yellow blends, and there's some eagles in the tree as well. Great shot, Noel. Thank you. If you have a weather photo and you'd like to see it on screen, send it through to us. The address is weather@wintv.com.au. Let's look at the details from today. A few clouds and winds were gusty at times. Castlemaine dropped to 6 degrees just before sunrise. That's around 5 degrees colder than the same time yesterday. Winds picked up in Bendigo during the afternoon, gusting to 44 kilometres an hour. 21 was the top there. Plenty of sunshine for Hopetoun, but the apparent temperature was a little fresher than what the mercury showed, and Swan Hill copped wind gusts of almost 50 kilometres per hour. On the satellite, a high in the west is extending a ridge across southern Victoria as it moves slowly east. On the synoptic, tomorrow another high will develop over the southern Tasman Sea, extending another ridge back west towards Bass Strait. To the forecast for central Victoria, partly cloudy with moderate south to southeasterly winds. Bendigo will reach a top of 23 degrees. Swan Hill, 25, the top there. For Bendigo tomorrow, cool to start, dipping to 9 degrees, then partly cloudy and heading for a top of 23. And in Melbourne, looking pretty similar. It'll reach a top of 20 degrees there. And in the days ahead, Thursday will be sunny with light winds. Friday is looking mostly sunny and warm. And on Saturday, a few clouds about, and there is a slight chance of showers in the east. That's all for weather tonight, Bruce. It's back to you.
Much cooler. Thank you very much, Christina. And thanks for your company across central Victoria this Tuesday, February 23. That is how we saw your news. And a reminder, to help secure the future of local media, please visit this website, saveourvoices.com.au. See you tomorrow at 6.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.